Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you guys how I do one of my gift / orders that I have for someone. I'm basically just making this inspired Burberry outfit with this inspired Burberry fabric that I have. If you guys would like to order some of this fabric, please let me know. Or you guys can check out our website or our Facebook group to get more information. So right now you guys see that I am preparing this fabric, cutting up my pattern, and doing all those great things so that when it's time for us to start sewing, everything is here and everything is ready. I believe this pattern has about 7 pieces, but I also have to cut out 2 pieces for the bow. So the first thing that we cut out was the 2 pieces for the skirt. Then we cut the front and the back of the skirt. And I'm cutting the cuff. I'm cutting it on the fold. And then I'm going to scoot that paper over and then cut the fold off. So now we have 2 pieces of the cuff. And now I'm working on the waistband. Here with the waistband, I like it to be a super high-waisted waistband. So I did it double the size that it came with. And I'm just going to fold that and put that to the side. And last but not least, we have to do the bow. I put my patterns in this binder just in case you guys wanted to know ways that you can store yours. This paper that I folded is usually the size of a headband. The headband bow that I use unfolded, but for this case, because it's going to be for 2 pigtails for a toddler, I decided to go ahead and make it half that size. And that's going to be 4.5 by 6, which I just showed you guys on the camera, so that I can make sure that I remember to tell you guys the right dimensions. So if you guys do ask in the comments what size was the bow, it really just confirms the fact that you're probably not watching the video full-heartedly. And that's what I need you guys to do, because these videos are free to you, but it takes a lot of time and energy from the YouTubers to do it. So just be mindful and try to take your time and watch the video if there's information that you would like to gain, because it helps us all, and I don't have to spend time answering questions that were already provided in the video. Now that that spiel is done, let's continue to enjoy ourselves. Sorry guys, it's kind of early in the morning. But at this point, what I showed you guys is how I sewed the bottom part that goes under the skirt. Excuse me. And I'm simply going to go ahead and do the skirt part now, which is the 2 parts that make the circle skirt. Or I guess it's called a half skirt since there's 2 pieces instead of a circle. So yeah, this is a half skirt, I think. You guys correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. And this is how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and put those to the side on my sewing machine and show you guys how they came out. So that's how it looks, turned the right side. This is also the bottom piece, turned right side out. And this is the cuffs and the waistband. What I'm doing here is I'm just showing you guys the way that it was folded. So this is the high-waisted waistband, and this is the cuffs. As you guys saw, we cut the cuff the long way. You're just going to fold it in half, and then on like fold it in half one way, like that, and then fold it in half again. I hope that makes sense. Like you're folding a square, but it's going to be still more rectangle, but it's like folding a square. You fold it one way, and then you fold it the opposite, starting with the longest dimension. So we have 2 cuffs. I want to go ahead and snip the other half across from the hem the seam that it comes with, so that it is easy to know where I am as far as halfway, all the way, a third of the way when it comes to attaching my cuffs or my waistbands. When I first started, guys, I used to make about 8 snips to make sure that it's just lined up perfectly. And when you get more comfortable, some people may not even have to use a snip. So it all comes with practice. Practice makes perfect. So here, once again, I'm doing the waistband the same way that I did the cuff. I'm going to make those snips to make it convenient when it comes to pinning or clipping and all those things, to get it correct on the sewing machine or on your serger. So now that that part is done, I'm just going to go ahead and start attaching my cuffs. And the way that I attach my cuffs is I start from seam to seam, and then the inside is going to be that seam line for the inner thigh, including that other piece that we snipped. And I'm just going to go ahead and clip that as well. And I'm going to do the same thing. Excuse me, guys. For the other part. So I went ahead and I serged that part on. I'm not sure why the camera skipped it, but I'm new to the GoPro, so there's things that I'm learning. So forgive me, guys, for that footage was lost. But it's going to be the same way that we do the waistband as well. It's going to be similar to the way that we did the pants cuff. Okay, so at this part I'm just attaching the skirt to the bummie at this point, which is just a waistband free bummie. The way that I found the cuff going first is easier for me at this point is because the cuffs are smaller and I don't want to have to keep lifting up the skirt part of the bummie to be able to attach my cuffs. So that's why we did the cuffs first, and then we are attaching the skirt. And after this, we're going to go ahead and attach the waistband, and your bummie will be done. That is like the best thing that I love about bummies. The more that you do them, the more comfortable you get and the faster it goes, and it's like, wow, you just flew through that. So we're almost done. We're going to go around this, and the way that I'm doing it is that I'm only stretching the waistband. So you guys see that I put my fingers in between it, and I make sure I pull with my thumb and my index finger while pushing my middle finger forward to push the bummie forward. And we went completely around, and now the way that I like to make sure that my thread don't come loose is I like to take my crochet needle and go under the serge part and pull the remainder back through, and it basically creates like a bond where it doesn't come out. It's going to just basically get tangled up and locked in that when we go back and add our waistband. If you guys want, something that I just did was I went ahead and I zigzagged that part where I pulled it back through just for extra security, because I know in some videos a lot of people are worried about that, or a lot of people have questions about that. So there's several ways that you can secure it. I'm just showing you guys under the skirt how far we got, and we're just going to go ahead and add our waistband now. I like to make sure that that seam that we connected the waistband inside is on the back in the middle of the bummie. So once I start adding, because I haven't clothing labels or made with love labels, that is where I will put my tag where that crease or that seam is in the back. That's how I know that my back is from my front. So I'm going to go ahead and start clipping that, and sometimes I like to take a gold marker or a gray or a light marker, and I like to add those clips so that I'm not cutting through the thread when it comes to attaching the waistband with the bummie. I hope that makes sense, because at this point the top of the bummie / skirt has been serged and I don't want to snip through the serging. So what I like to do is just put a dot here and there, make sure it's very invisible, so that when it comes back around and you serge over it, you don't see those marks anymore. So as you guys see, I put 4 clips, and in the past I used to put 8. I would just go in between those clips that are there and put another clip in the middle of each clip that you guys see. But now I'm at a point where I no longer need to do that, but you guys should do whatever you feel comfortable with doing. Once again, I have my middle finger and my index finger pulling that waistband backwards while I'm using my other fingers to kind of guide my bummie forward. My right hand, I put my index and my thumb finger right back on that band, and I'm pulling it ever so slightly so that it's not scrunched up, but I'm just stretching it to make sure that by the time I get to my next clip, there's no excess fabric when it comes to the bummie, that the bummie and the band are at the same level by the time I get to the next clip. So now that I'm at the end, there's no excess, there's no extra, there's no bumpiness, and I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing again where we crochet that end part right back through there. And if you guys want to get extra support, if you guys are selling something, selling designs or different things like that, you could go ahead and zigzag stitch over that as well. But this is the Bummie Skort completely done, and I absolutely love it. This is one of my best sellers, the Skort, in my store, and I absolutely love it. It's so cute on little girls. And when I was just checking my dials, I realized that sometimes my daughter likes to play with them, and it was just a little bit off. So I went ahead and I adjusted it, and I pulled that tag through. Once again, a bit of my footage was lost because I wanted to also show you guys the bow where I do the square, but that is missing, and I only caught, excuse me guys. I only caught me getting this part, the middle of the bow. But we have two of those to go in the middle of our little bows, and we are going to go ahead and start making those. To the left, you guys see my tablet where I am watching myself do this to make sure that I am in camera view and that you guys have a good angle. It's usually like out of view, but once again, like, oh, it takes so much longer to do an order or to create a GIF when you are like recording, because I have to be mindful of angles and I have to make sure that I take my time and different things like that. So please forgive me guys. Once again, my goal is just to get it out there, to get things out to you, to get videos posted, to bring love and knowledge and education and ideas to my subscribers, because you guys are so awesome and we appreciate you. So yeah, don't mind that little tablet in the corner. But what I'm doing is I sealed that hole that was open at the bottom with glue, which you guys aren't familiar with because I didn't show you the way that I sew it. But I like to create an accordion with about 4 rows, and with those 4 rows, I'm going to separate it right now and show you guys how I add that scrunchie or that little bow to the back. I guess you can call it like a hairband. I put a little bit of glue in between the top 2 and the bottom 2 layers that I accordioned, if that's even a word. And I like to put the silver part or the connection of my band in between that so that it's no longer showing and you have this nice clean look. I'm just getting those glue gun webs off. And now I'm going to go ahead with that band that you guys saw me turn inside out, and we are going to add that. It is pretty long, but we're going to cut it as we go. Now I just used the butterfly clip, or the clip that we use at the end to hold it in place while I had to do other things. But the glue is holding it now, so at this point I'm just going to put a drop of glue in the back to start attaching my wrap for the bow. And I'm going to go all the way back around to cover the front very nicely. And you want it to be nice, tight, and neat. So that's what I'm doing here, making sure that you guys can see me well. See, it's so much less distracting to have that out of your view, or at least for me. So here I showed you guys how it's going to be a nice clean look. And you just want to make sure that it is tight and firm so that you can know how much you need to cut off. You guys can do exact measurements if you want to save fabric and things like that. For me, I just know it takes a bit more time. So I just have the excess and I clip it off as I go. What I like to do here is I like to put a little bit of glue at the very end and fold it over so that when it comes to finishing it off, it has a very clean finish. And you want to make sure that it's not excess, that it finished right where my thumb is. But what I saw is that it was too much left over. It was too long and it made it loose. So I went ahead and I cut off just a tad bit more, and I did the same process. We're going to add that glue at the very, very end. I'm almost out. Add that glue to the very, very tip of your wrap. Fold it under again, and right here is the perfect time for you to add your alligator clip. Alligator clips are extremely affordable, so when it comes to making bows, guys, you can just run to a local hair store or a beauty supply and go buy them from there, rather than having to get something that literally says bows from Amazon or Etsy and something like that. They work just the same. So I'm going to go ahead and clip it on my wrap so that when it comes to gluing it down, I don't have to be holding it, or I don't have to be trying to clamp it on. It's just already there. I'm going to put glue under there so that that clamp does not come off, that kids do not rip it off. We don't want any choking hazards or anything like that. So I'm putting a good amount of glue. Like, I am working it, guys. Like, I'm getting muscles from trying to put enough glue on this thing. Also, because you also got to push the glue through. Push, push. Push it real good. And I got it. And at this point, I'm just going to once again make sure that that fold is perfectly down. And I'm going to push and hold to make sure that it is secure. And you guys, this is my favorite way to do it. It is so nice and neat. It is so pretty. It is so firm. I just absolutely love this way. If there's easier ways, please let me know. If you guys have a video that's easier, post the link in the comments below and I'll go check it out, because I love to learn. And faster things is perfect for business, and it's perfect for gifts because you can give more gifts. I'm going to press and hold. And that's that. If you guys see any extra glue, you just want to remove that. Sometimes the glue seeps out, and once it dries, you can dry white or dry clear depending on how it is played with. So that is that. That's how we make our bow with our little scrunchie. And now I want to show you guys how I made the shirt very quickly. I didn't show you guys the computer part. If you guys desire for me to show you the computer part when it comes to creating the t-shirt, I most absolutely can do that. But for this part that is coming up, guys, I just showed you how the Cricut cut it. So I put it on reverse on my mat, and I made sure that it was reversed inside of Cricut as well. And I just loaded that mat up. I let it cut, and it cut pretty quickly because it wasn't a lot. I just found the logo online. I just found it. Sometimes you can purchase it. But, you know, when you're doing things for gifts, I would say, you know, it's fine, but you really should be wise when it comes to selling things like this. Make sure you list that it is inspired, that it's not coming off as counterfeit. So here, my Cricut is basically cutting it. It is now 100% done. And I'm going to cut that vinyl right down to size, and I'm going to go ahead and weed all of that off. I have a video on my channel when it comes to weeding reverse images. You guys can check that out. Videos like these are perfect for you guys who are multi-crafters, serial crafters, crafters of many crafts, however you guys want to look at it. But there's sewing, there's Cricut. Here we offer videos on sublimation, and I used to do videos on cakes and everything. I feel like I'm a serious multi-crafter, and I absolutely love it. So at this point, the shirt is done. I like to take my Teflon sheet and go and hit it again to make sure that it does not come off. And this is the finished product, you guys. This is how the outfit looks when it's done. I'm going to show you guys a close-up video and show you guys the back of my bow, how nice and neat it looks. I absolutely love little girl bows. Like, my daughter can't stand it sometimes, but I absolutely love bows. And that's how they look. And this is the completed video, you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Subscribe, like the comment, come back again, share the video. If you guys need any help, or if you want to purchase it, or you want to give it as a gift, go ahead and check out our store at tullycreations.com. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.